Hello everybody, it's been a while, so I decided to try and get something up. A video, that is. This is my first video since my big reveal. I'll make a follow-up video about that in a bit, but first I want to talk about something else. I'm making this video in response to a male viewer that I talk to from time to time online. Okay, it's Sergeant Willie Pete, damn. He doesn't know I'm going to make this video, but that's never stopped me before, so here goes. He sent me a link to a video of a black woman who is attractive, and she was telling the story about how she went out on a date, and long story short, at the end of the date, the guy said something like, "You're not appealing to men." And she talked about how instead of taking his comment as an insult, she used it as inspiration to quote-unquote upgrade herself. And she showed a before and after picture, and it was a nice transformation. She looks nice. But here's the thing. In the video in which she was talking about her transformation, she was wearing either a dress or a blouse. I can't tell because you can only see her from the waist up. So let's just call it a blouse for the sake of argument. She's wearing this really tight blouse with metallic material with this animal print on it. And it's low cut so you can see a good deal of tittage. And like I said before, Sarge sent me the link, so I'm assuming he agrees with this style of dress or this transformation, and perhaps this is what he likes to see on women. Let me throw this little disclaimer in there because I already went through this once with Envu. I am not hating. I'm not saying this chick doesn't look nice. I'm not saying she doesn't look sexy. I'm not saying she's not pretty. I'm just talking about the way she's dressed. Furthermore, before you accuse me of hating, listen to what I'm saying and then see if it makes any sense. Try not to jump straight to, "You're hating." Try to have some deeper thought processes than that. Alright, now that we got that out the way, perhaps Sergeant Willie Pete sent me this link partly because of that discussion I had back when I was talking about how I could get black guys who were on my level or below but not above. Or maybe it had nothing to do with that. I'm just throwing that out there. Also, he has talked about on several occasions how he and other guys like him, I guess he calls himself a young upper echelon black guy, how they like fantasy women. Now I can totally understand aiming to get the most beautiful chick in the world or the most beautiful chick that you can get. I understand that. And I also understand that you want her to look nice. And by that I mean how she puts herself together. Makeup, nice clothes, hair done, nails done, everything done. But here's what's got me a little bit, let's say, well, messed up. Being pretty and having yourself well put together is one thing. Dressing like this is another thing. I understand you don't want a woman who's going to wear sweatpants all the time, but this is a bit much. Now let me do another disclaimer real quick. She is dressed appropriately for what she's doing. She's making a video. She's a public figure. She's a TV personality or web personality or whatever you want to call her. And she has to or wants to project a certain image. She's not married, nor is she trying to present herself as a wife. And based on the videos I've watched from her, she doesn't really seem to be interested in marriage, at least not right now. So that is or can be appropriate dress for a single woman who does what she does. So again, this ain't about her. Or even take the way Chanel Cooper Sykes is dressed in one of the pictures on her website. In the footer photo on her website, she's wearing this bodysuit, this skin-tight black leotard bodysuit thing. It's very sexy, very form-fitting, and very revealing. And it's not something that you'd walk around on the street with every day, and I doubt that she does either. However, for the purposes of what she's trying to accomplish, you know, the message in her book, Stilettos in the Kitchen, and, you know, what she's about, that's appropriate dress or appropriate picture to take for her website. The front cover matches the theme of her book. I mean, but even still, if it didn't have anything to do with the theme of her book, it would still be appropriate dress because it's just called marketing. If you're nice and or appealing on the front of your book, people are at least going to look at the book and maybe even they'll pick it up and then buy it. One other little side note I like to throw in there, just like the first chick I talked about, Chanel Cooper Sykes is also not married. However, I am 100% certain it is entirely by her own choice. I know there are plenty of men of all races willing to wipe that up tomorrow. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's a certain way that a wife looks. Or actually what I should say, there's a certain way a wife dresses. And when I say a certain way that a wife dresses, I'm talking about women who are wives and single women who want to become wives. Alright, let's look at a wife. Here's Taye Diggs' wife, Ina Avina or something like that. I think it's Avina, whatever. Now before some of you get started and ask, well, why'd you pick a white woman? Because I'm going to be comparing white to white. If you compare black to white, people are going to get confused and sidetracked and miss the point of what you're saying, so I'm just going to compare white to white. But anyway, this is Taye Diggs' wife. I don't think she's very cute in the face, and no, I'm not hating. She's got this really pronounced jawbone that I don't really care for, kind of like Maria Shriver. But anyway, despite her looks in the face, she's put together well. She's got her hair done, her makeup done, nice clothes on. And speaking of the clothes, she looks very feminine, very nice. You can see her figure, but not too much. See, she looks like a wife. And here's some pictures of how she dresses in her everyday life. She's not wearing anything that's going to make you say, damn, look at that chick, but still very nice, still feminine, and still very respectable. Now here she is dressed up to go out to an event. Very sexy, very feminine, a little bit more revealing, but again, it's not so sexy or revealing that you can see everything her mother made for her. And here, let me throw in a couple of pictures of Jada Pinkett Smith. Here she is on the red carpet or at some event. And see, she looks very nice, very elegant, very sexy, but still it doesn't show too much. Now contrast this with Kim Kardashian. And again, if you're going to get sidetracked by the interracial comparison, then forget about Jada Pinkett Smith and go back to Avina or Ina or whatever her name is. This is Kim Kardashian on the red carpet or at some event. You can see every crack in her ass. Well, she ain't got no cracks in her ass. You know what I mean. That is very tight, very sexy, very revealing, and it does not look like a wife. Here's two other chicks she's standing with. Again, they're not dressed like wives. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't look good, I'm not saying they don't look sexy. I'm saying they don't look like wives. Here's one picture of Kim Kardashian in her everyday life, which is a lot more decent. I could kind of see a wife wearing that. A younger one. Now, let's go to the extreme. Let's talk about Amber Rose. Actually, I'm not even sure what race she is. I hear she's biracial or something, I don't know, but here she is. And as you can see, regardless of whether she's going to an event or just walking around in her everyday life, she is always going to have her ass out. She's always going to have something on revealing, even when she's out jogging. She's either going to be wearing something that's so tight it looks like it was painted on, or she's going to be wearing something see-through, or something with a lot of tittage hanging out. She just looks like a total skis. I don't think I even have to say that she don't look nothing like nobody's wife. And she's not anybody's wife. And you may say, well, maybe she don't want to be. Maybe. But the point is, she's not a wife. Same thing with Kim Kardashian. Whose wife is she? I know she's divorced, but I think she was married back before we knew who she was. Whose wife is she right now, dressed the way she is? Now, if you do find a woman who is a wife who's dressed like that, look at the type of man she's married to. Like, take, for instance, Coco and Ice-T. In general, Coco does not dress like a wife, and I'm surprised he wiped that up. I don't know what's wrong with him. But anyway, even though he did wipe that up, it works for him because he's a rapper. It goes with his whole rapper persona. But if he were a doctor or a lawyer walking around with that, people are going to wonder what's wrong with him. They're probably not even going to think that's your wife. They're going to probably be like, oh, does your wife know you're walking around with a prostitute? They're probably going to think you have somebody wifely and motherly back at home, but you're stepping out with this prostitute behind her back. Now, I don't know if you like Coco in the face. She's just an average-looking woman to me in the face, but I've heard you at least talk about her body. And I get the body thing somewhat, but then again I don't because the tits are fake, I'm pretty sure. The ass might be real, but it could be fake. But either way, when you're that voluptuous, there are certain things you can't wear without looking like a whore. And one of those things is really tight clothing. But if you're very voluptuous, you don't need tight clothing anyway because your stuff is going to be very visible anyway because it's so big. It's those little skinny bitches, as Monique likes to call them, that might quote-unquote need to wear tighter clothing so you can see that they have an ass, so you can see that they have tits. But big as Coco's titties are, she could have on a damn t-shirt and you still gonna see plenty of titty. So she can afford to tone down the tightness and still be looking sexy, still be looking good, because if you overdo the tightness, you can go from sexy to slutty in 0.6 seconds flat. Now that said, this whole slutty look that she I don't know what she calls it, whatever. The look that she has, it works for her because she's a celebrity. She's the woman, or should I say the wife, of a celebrity, of a rapper. So it's okay if she looks like that, and it's okay if Kim Kardashian looks the way she does, and it's okay if Amber Rose dresses the way she does. All three of them are in Hollywood, and two of them aren't wives. Now let's talk about your everyday women who aren't celebrities who are actually in your dating pool, because you ain't never going to meet Kim Kardashian or Amber Rose. So let's talk about women who you actually can come in contact with and marry. Let's take a regular woman, regular meaning she's not a celebrity, not meaning she's average looking. Let's say she's nice looking. And let's dress her like Kim Kardashian, Coco, or Amber Rose. Let's walk her down the street in downtown or whichever city you choose. Is she going to get a lot of attention? Is she going to be very quote-unquote appealing to men? Absolutely. But is she going to be getting the attention that she wants? Well, actually the answer would have to be yes, because women who dress like that, they know what they're doing. They want the attention. You don't dress like that if you just want to be left alone, or if you just want to mix into the crowd. So absolutely they're getting the attention they want. But a chick like me, I don't want the attention that comes with dressing like that. Yes, you get a lot of catcalls, you may even get a lot of men wanting to take your picture and get your number. But most of the time, that type of attention doesn't lead to somebody wanting to marry you. And that works perfect for women who do not want to be married. But for me, that's not going to work. I'm a wife now, I can't walk around like that. But even before I got married, I can't walk around like that. Nobody's going to take you seriously dressed like that. I mean, unless you're a celebrity or something. But women who are just regular women who dress like that, nobody takes them seriously. But again, a lot of these women who dress like this, if not most, don't want to get married anyway. So again, it works perfect for them. Now let's go back to Kim Kardashian for a minute. You have confirmed that not only do you like her face, but you like her body. And I assume you also like the way she puts herself together, as in her hair, her makeup, and her dress. Now I'm not asking you specifically if you would want Kim Kardashian to wife her up. I'm talking about a woman who puts herself together in that way. Is that what you want in a wife? Is that what you want your wife to look like? I mean, wearing these skin-tight dresses with a big-ass booty showing everybody her business. Or are you okay with a woman who puts herself together like Taye Diggs' wife or Jada Pinkett? And again, I'm not talking about Taye Diggs' wife in the face because, you know, she ain't all that cute. But I mean, just the way she puts herself together. You also mentioned that you like a woman who quote-unquote wears makeup. Well, what kind of makeup are you talking about? Covering up blemishes and imperfections with your concealer or your foundation is one thing. I don't really consider that quote-unquote wearing makeup. I'm talking about being made up to where you got lipstick on and blush and eyeshadow. I mean, going beyond just making yourself look presentable and covering up blemishes. Okay, are you expecting this every day, or like, is this an everyday thing, or is this on special occasions? Because of course you're going to dress up on special occasions. I mean, like Jada on the red carpet. You know, she looked very nice and very sexy on the red carpet. But I mean, every day do I think she walks around in makeup? Probably not. I mean, like I said, she may cover up her blemishes, but to be full on makeup, you know, lipstick, eyeshadow, all that stuff, no. So is that what you expect from your woman every day, full on makeup? Whether she's going to the grocery store or going out to some event, you expect her to be made up. Is that what you're saying? And if your answer is yes, okay, your chick might start off like that, but I'm sure you plan on having kids. And once the kids start coming, you ain't got time for that. I mean, even Heidi Klum, when the paparazzi take pictures of her with her kids in the park, she ain't got no makeup on. Ain't nobody worried about no makeup when you're playing in the park with your kids. So again, is this makeup thing an everyday thing for you? Do you expect that every day? So if you want a woman who dresses like Kim Kardashian in full-on makeup every day, what fantasy world are you living in? Now sure, you can get a woman like that, but is she wifey material? Sure, you could get a woman like Coco, and I'm not necessarily talking about her in the face, but I mean body-wise, but she don't look like a wife. Why would you want your wife, your woman, to have her titties exposed and to have on clothes so tight you can see every bump and nook and cranny in her ass? And don't misunderstand, I can understand you wanting that. I'm asking you, why would you want it for a wife? And don't even try to cop out on me and say, well, it's because you're not a man. No, because Taye Diggs knows what a wife looks like. Will Smith knows what a wife looks like. Now, the way I was dressing before I got married and continue to dress now, I was attracting the kind of men that I wanted. Had I dressed like Kim Kardashian or Amber Rose, I would not have. Most doctors or engineers don't want to walk around with a wife that's dressed like Amber Rose or even Kim Kardashian. Wanting a wife that looks like that is like you're trying to merge two things that don't go together. I understand you want a beautiful, prestigious wife. So since you like cars, I'll make a car analogy. You want a wife that also looks really good, or should I say exceptional. So instead of getting a Mercedes or a BMW, you know, a car that's beautiful and prestigious, but at the same time you can stick your family in the back seat. It's still practical. But no, you want a damn Ferrari and want to be able to fit your 4 or 5 kids in the back seat. That's not happening. Sports car doesn't match with family. And Kim Kardashian doesn't match with wife. Amber Rose doesn't match with wife. That's not a mommy. I know Amber Rose is a mother, but that's not a mommy. Those are women that you jack off to. Those are women that you stay with for a little while until you get your real, wholesome, wifely woman. Or at least that's the way normal men think. Even if you're trying to go with the saying, a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed, I can even understand that. But you seem to want to freak out in the streets as well. You just want a woman wearing this butt-tight shit all the time. Ain't no woman who's about anything got time for that. I ain't got time for a trail of 30 men following me down the street saying, hey, can I get your number? Why would you want that type of attention surrounding around your wife? You sent me the link of a video talking about being quote-unquote appealing to men, and the chick sitting there in a blouse like this. So this must be appealing to you. I'm asking you, is that what you want in a wife? Is that how you want your wife to dress? And if so, why? And again, don't come to me with, well, you're not a man, so you don't understand. Again, Will Smith, he knows what a wife looks like, and so does Taye Diggs, and so do a lot of other men. I'm asking you why you want everybody to see every dimple in your wife's ass. Why do you want everybody to know the exact shape of your wife's body? I'm asking you why you want everybody to know what your wife's tits look like. And I'm asking you why you think a woman like that makes a good wife and mother. I understand you're not looking for a woman in jeans and a t-shirt or sweats, but the answer to that isn't to go all the way to the other side and be half naked. Well, anyway, that's all I got to say. Answer if you want to. If not, I enjoyed making the video.